higher television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular.
Stephen A. Smith didn't just stir things up. He went all in a fiery rant that quickly blew up online. The ESPN star called out the WNBA and veteran players like Sheryl Swoopes for how they're handling Caitlin Clark. Stephen A. didn't hold back, slamming the league for failing to support one of their biggest stars. This wasn't just regular sports talk. It was a straight-up reality check. He made it clear women's basketball is messing up a once-in-a-generation opportunity to grow the game, and Caitlin Clark is the key.
Caitlin Clark, the people's champion! Let's get it!
That's a deep one.
Bang!
Just announced that Caitlin Clark and the Fever will be playing 41 of 44 games this year on national TV. You're coming to watch the other girl, right? Right?
Bang!
Teams are moving their games with the Fever to NBA arenas so they can sell more tickets. How about that?
Bang!
Angel Reese attempted a three this deep. I think she might dislocate her shoulder.
Bang!
You want some butter with that bread? Butter. Butter.
Butter pecan! Bang!
Let's be real, Caitlin Clark is doing something no one in the WNBA has ever done before. She's not just putting up big stats, she's bringing millions of fans to the screen, packing out arenas like it's the NBA Finals, and making women's basketball exciting for a whole new generation. But instead of riding that wave, the WNBA, under Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, seems stuck in slow gear. And instead of lifting her up, legends like Sheryl Swoopes are throwing shade, pouring cold water on the momentum she's building.
You didn't want to, rather. You were a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so, you had people like Sheryl Swoopes who didn't even want to mention her name.
Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. He went straight at the WNBA leadership, calling them out for missing a golden opportunity to take the league to the next level. In his words, they're sleepwalking through the Caitlin Clark era, failing to tap into the wave of attention she's bringing. This isn't just a small mistake. Smith says it's pure self-sabotage. At a time when the WNBA is craving national spotlight and real growth, ignoring Clark's rise isn't just bad business. It's a major loss.
Everybody talk about other WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them. Nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying, despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care. Fair or not. Until Caitlin Clark came along.
Let's be real, Caitlin Clark isn't just hype, she's the full package. Rookie of the Year, all WNBA first team. And more than that, she's become the face of a movement that's pushing women's basketball onto the global stage. But how did the league treat her huge moment? With silence, no big press release, no highlight reel celebration, just a quiet phone call letting her know she won Rookie of the Year. Meanwhile, other players get full-on parties for less impressive awards. We're talking balloons, cameras, catered events. Clark helped put the league in the spotlight, and the league barely looked up.
They decided that they were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this up.
And that's just scratching the surface. Caitlin Clark's list of accomplishments is already stacked. She's landed on Forbes 30 Under 30, was named SBJ Sports Person of the Year, AP Female Athlete of the Year, and Times Athlete of the Year. On top of that, she's out here making real moves to grow women's sports, from major public appearances to powerful speaking events. Other major leagues recognize her impact, they see the value, but somehow the WNBA still acts hesitant to admit that their entire brand is now revolving around her.
You went the opposite direction, it could have helped that much and facilitated you being in an even stronger position to get yours. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it.
Wow. Stephen A. Smith's rant wasn't just some loud opinion, it was a reality check. He said out loud what fans have been yelling online for months. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, and instead of celebrating that, the league's treating her like she's a problem. It's almost like she's messing up some unspoken pecking order, and vets like Sheryl Swoopes, along with stars like Aja Wilson, seem more interested in protecting the old guard than welcoming in the future.
Seems to be some haterade in the league in regards to Clark starting with WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes herself.
And when it comes to Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. He made it clear she's part of the problem. Her media appearances feel awkward, filled with vague answers and empty promises. It's like she's completely disconnected from what's actually going on. When asked about Caitlin Clark, Engelbert gives the usual scripted PR responses instead of the real plan fans and players are waiting to hear. Meanwhile, WNBA legends like Sheryl Swoopes keep tossing shade, acting like Clark's rise is just media hype. But Smith, he's not buying it. He knows exactly what this is: jealousy. Plain and simple, and he's right about one thing. In pro sports, stars build leagues. And right now, Caitlin Clark is that star.
You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. There is no way in hell you just accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it. You know that. Stop it.
If the WNBA keeps treating Caitlin Clark like she's just another rookie, they're not just dropping the ball, they're burning the biggest opportunity the league has ever had to break into the mainstream spotlight. Stephen A. Smith is raising the red flag because someone has to. And guess what? The fans are paying attention. The sponsors are watching. Now the only question left is, will the WNBA finally get it together?
I believe there's actually a debate on who was Rookie of the Year last year. Imagine being that delusional. Bang! People need to understand she saved this league. Powder, there's no TV deals, no ad sponsorships, heck, no shoe deals for you, Angel Reese, no McDonald's money. The league losing millions of dollars each year. She saved them from bankruptcy. Time to be grateful. Bang! 93% of her games on national TV. She's like that. Bang!
But let's be real. Yeah, this isn't just about bad decisions at the top. A lot of fans are starting to believe there's something deeper going on behind the scenes. Power moves, ego, and control. Sheryl Swoopes, a WNBA legend and one of the league's OG icons, has been throwing shade at Caitlin Clark for a while now. She frames it as protecting the game, but the pattern's hard to miss. Constantly downplaying Clark's impact, calling her overhyped, even suggesting she hasn't earned her shine yet. The message between the lines: this is the Vets League, and the rookies need to stay in their lane.
WNBA MVPs in your career, would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
I can't, bro. Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant.
Smith wasn't having any of that. In his signature style, he shut down the gatekeeping mentality, calling it exactly what it is: jealousy that's doing more harm than good. He pointed out that Caitlin Clark has already outperformed most WNBA players in terms of media attention, fan engagement, and brand value. And not because she's loud or flashy, but because she's dominating on the court and driving ticket sales. Let's be clear though, Smith's rant wasn't an attack on the WNBA, quite the opposite. It was a passionate call to action for the league to stop sabotaging itself. He made it clear that Clark is the league's chance to break out of obscurity and begged them to stop letting personal egos and agendas get in the way of real progress. His message: you don't need to be a fan of Caitlin Clark to recognize that she's good for the game. Everyone's watching to see how the WNBA treats its biggest star, and if they mess it up, it won't just be a missed chance. It'll be a marketing disaster.
Then are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in speaking your piece to elevate Caitlin Clark? So therefore even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits? Now you're gonna do it anyway. And I get that, but you see my point.
Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating on the court. She's changing the game when it comes to what it means to be a marketable athlete in women's sports. From the endorsements to the sold-out arenas and all the cultural buzz, it's clear she's a superstar. But the one thing missing: a league that's ready to fully embrace her and let her take them to the next level. If Kathy Engelbert and Sheryl Swoopes keep dragging their feet, they could end up watching from the sidelines as the biggest moment in WNBA history passes them by. However, if they wake up and swallow their pride, getting behind the phenom that fans can't stop talking about, this league could explode in ways they've only dreamed of.
I said Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, You players could have done more to assist it.
The backlash against the WNBA's leadership reached new heights when Commissioner Kathy Engelbert appeared on national TV. Fans were ready, eager even, to hear a bold, forward-thinking plan for the league's future. Instead, they were met with a vague mess of corporate jargon that left everyone more confused than anything else. Her recent interviews on 60 Minutes and CNBC's Power Lunch did nothing to inspire confidence. If anything, they only proved how disconnected the league's top brass is from the heart of the game. Let's focus on that 60 Minutes interview for a second. When directly asked about Caitlin Clark's unprecedented impact on the league, Engelbert had the perfect opportunity to acknowledge the generational talent reshaping the WNBA. Instead, she brushed it off with a bland, tired soundbite. No league is ever about one player.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Technically, Engelbert wasn't wrong, but in that moment, her response came off as cold and dismissive. Here was a golden opportunity to embrace the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, but instead, Engelbert acted like it was just another day at the office. Fans didn't take it well. Social media blew up with criticism. How could the league be so out of touch? Clark is the reason arenas are packed, the reason millions of new fans are tuning in. She's the spark that women's basketball has been waiting decades for. Yet, instead of celebrating her, the WNBA's own commissioner downplayed her impact. It was a PR nightmare that only raised more doubts about whether the league's leadership even understands the incredible moment they're sitting on.
White, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
Then came the CNBC Power Lunch interview, and things somehow got even worse. When asked about the growing rivalries and increased viewership, Kathy Engelbert strayed into buzzwords and vague promises. She provided zero concrete plans to improve officiating, protect players, or ensure fairness on the court. It felt like she was just reading from a press release on repeat. Meanwhile, fans are desperately calling for real change, not just catchy phrases. This wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a complete disconnect from the real issues that matter to both players and fans.
It's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were 5 years ago.
This isn't just a perception issue, it's affecting the game in real ways. While Kathy Engelbert focuses on marketing, Caitlin Clark is being pushed around on live TV. The officiating has been all over the place, leaving both fans and players uncertain about which version of the rulebook will apply on any given night. For a star like Clark, whose style is all about speed, precision, and attacking the rim, this inconsistency makes her an easy target. It's not only unfair, it's dangerous. Need proof? One game saw Clark hit with a technical foul for the unforgivable offense of slapping the ring post. Yes, you read that right.
Caitlin Clark gets hit with a technical. After
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So
the clip went viral, not just because it was ridiculous, but because it exposed the glaring double standard. Fans immediately started asking, would Diana Taurasi have gotten the same call? Of course she wouldn't. Let's roll the footage.
Wnba in that group. Kennedy Carter nearly picks off the pass, and Diana Taurasi, they'll count the bucket. And one coming up for DT.
These aren't just random incidents. They're signs of a league more focused on appearances than real solutions. Instead of addressing the growing issues with officiating, the WNBA seems more interested in pushing rivalries and creating drama. But fans aren't asking for drama. They want respect for the game, fairness, and a league that takes its stars seriously and actually protects its future. If there's one area where the WNBA has completely dropped the ball, it's in player safety. Caitlin Clark's historic rookie season wasn't just about her jaw-dropping threes and record-breaking stats. It was also a brutal test of endurance. Game after game, Clark endured hits that weren't just aggressive, they were downright dangerous. And what did the league do about it? Not much. The warning signs were flashing brightly, yet the WNBA has failed to take any serious action to protect its biggest star.
Yeah, and the one thing as a very long-term sports fan I know is that officiating and refereeing is always at the top of a fan's list, of the media's list. Obviously not every, there's They're humans.
Let's break it down. Some of the fouls Caitlin Clark has taken this season wouldn't be allowed in a casual pickup game, let alone a professional league. She's clearly being targeted, and it's not going unnoticed. Analysts are calling it out, fans are sharing clips that go viral in no time, yet the league stays silent. No changes to the officiating rules, no official reviews, just complete silence. If the WNBA isn't going to protect its biggest star now, then when? Take one of Clark's most questionable fouls this season and compare it to a similar situation in the NBA. In the NBA, that kind of hit would immediately lead to a flagrant review, maybe even an ejection, but in the WNBA, Clark doesn't even get a whistle. This double standard not only puts players in danger, but it also weakens the credibility of the league's officiating overall.
Tell me Caitlin Clark gets a special whistle ever again. One call was an ejection and the other was a common foul. Now, let's replay this one more damn time. Y'all can see right here. This was the exact same damn play. Look, same play. Same play, bro. Look at this. Are you serious right here? Boom. Same play.
Crushed by Williams and
same play. Now, Grant Williams was ejected for that.
Caitlin Clark's debut wasn't just a viral sensation, it was a marketing goldmine. But instead of capitalizing on it, the WNBA let it slip away like a fast break that never got finished. These aren't just missed opportunities. These are huge turnovers for a league that can't afford to lose any ground. For a league that's hungry for growth, Clark was the perfect boost. Yet leadership seemed unsure whether to go full speed ahead or slow things down. This indecision points to a bigger problem, the league's overall direction. If the WNBA continues to focus on empty slogans and PR fluff rather than making real changes to its infrastructure and culture, it's going to lose all its momentum. Caitlin Clark handed the league a rare game-changing opportunity. The real question now isn't whether she can handle the spotlight, it's whether the league is ready and willing to meet her at the top.
This league could actually be that dense. Professional league, guys. We're not talking about a rec league. We're not talking about even a high school team. Nobody believes that anybody is that clueless.
The lack of support isn't just an issue for Caitlin Clark, it extends across the league. This year, the WNBA's storytelling felt flat. Sure, rivalries can sell tickets, but what about legacy? What about tapping into the deeper emotional connection that comes from understanding an athlete's journey? Clark didn't just pop up out of nowhere. She came with a rich narrative that millions had followed since her time at Iowa. Instead of using that powerful story to boost the league's visibility, the WNBA seemed content to let it live on social media memes and highlight reels, missing a major opportunity to build something more meaningful.
Such an incredible moment on a global scale for our game, for our players.
It's like the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road. Like there's so many people that are showing up in fever gear. It's really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great thing. And, really, I think we're just scratching the surface.
Caitlin Clark's impact wasn't just about her own performance. Her star power drew in fans who had never even watched a WNBA game. College basketball followers, NBA fans, and even international viewers were all tuning in. She didn't just lift the league, she completely transformed it. And yet, the WNBA wasn't prepared to capitalize on this moment. What did we get instead? Silence from the leadership, tone-deaf interviews from Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, and a clear feeling that the league wasn't quite sure how to handle this wave of success. Clark's rookie year was a blueprint for what's possible. Her presence packed arenas, boosted viewership, and put the WNBA into broader sports conversations. But the league's failure to meet that energy head-on has left fans frustrated, wondering what comes next.
More and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before, and it kind of takes your breath away.
Caitlin Clark has shown us what the WNBA could become, a platform where women's sports take center stage, athletes are celebrated at the highest level, and the next generation is inspired by what they see. But that vision only becomes a reality if the league invests in the right infrastructure behind the scenes. We need better officiating, stronger player safety measures, and marketing campaigns that hit the mark when the spotlight is brightest. Now we're at a crucial crossroads. fans. Will the WNBA evolve into the league that Caitlin Clark has helped elevate, or will it fall back into old habits and waste yet another golden opportunity? The ball is in their court and fans everywhere are watching closely. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Click on the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.